Alright, hello everyone. I wanted to do an unbagging today because I got some Moe's floss and I love this stuff, so I wanted to share that. But I had done or recorded an unboxing video of the Stitchy box Peacocok small batch box. This was earlier in April, and I didn't like my setup. I knocked the camera over a few times and I was just kind of like not into it when I did it. So instead of redoing an unboxing, I figured I would just show you everything that came in the box. You got most of it in frame here. So I'm going to start with the first thing, which was this Dinky Dyes hand-dyed silk. It was the first day one Dinky Dyes silk. Welcome to our 2019 Peacocks box. I thought we'd start off with some peacock silk, and it's a very pretty silk. Now, I haven't used silk before, but I did buy some of the Moe's hand-dyed silk because it was just so pretty, so I'm hoping it's in this bag, and we'll take a look at that in a few minutes. So that was item number one. Item number two is right here, is these Swarovski 2mm, a lot of frame. So Swarovski 2mm pearls, fabulous little pearls to decorate your projects with. I'm hoping you can see them, that they'll focus in. Some pretty little green pearls here. I think it says you get 10 pieces. Put down at the bottom. So that was day two. Day three, and if you've watched my other videos, you know how I feel about these. This is a peacock focal bead, a bold focal bead for a bold bird. Now, as pretty as this is, and it is on both sides, you know, my opinions of these is you can go to Joann's and buy a whole string for a couple of bucks, even less if you have a coupon. So, but it is a very pretty bead, and it would probably be very nice on a scissor fob. It's probably a little too big, a little too heavy to go on a regular, see, that's what happened last time, a regular stitch. But it is a cute little bead. Next up we have day number four, these cute little check dagger beads. These dagger beads remind me of peacock feathers. They also make fabulous fringe for finishings. There's silver on one side and a blue teardrop on the other. Here, if I move that one up, you see that's silver, and then you can see, there's one, the teardrop there, the blue. I don't know what I'd use these on. These aren't anything I'd normally buy, and they are very pretty, and I do like several things, mainly this little bowl. This thing is awesome. That was day number 9, so we'll get there. These I'm not keen on, and I get that they're vintage, they're just not my thing. Oh wait, that's day 6, let me jump back to day 5. So I like the flosses, I really do like the flosses, and there's one here, you should have heard me giggle when I opened it up. Day 5 is Classic Colorworks Cotton, a lovely neutral green to contrast with some of the brighter colors in the shipment. And it's it's green. I call it a dusty green because it's not that bright, it's not that pale. It's like in the middle. I like it. Tiny Vine, I believe, is the color name on that. So, alright, back to these beads. Day 6. These vintage India classic glass beads. There's 3 of them there. Let's see. There we go. I love using vintage beads. They always seem to have more character than modern creations. Now, these are nice. You know, they're a little purpley with a hint of a gold shine in there. And they do have that classic, you know, handmade bead look to them. But they're just not anything I would use. Once again, they'd probably be good for a scissor fob, something like that. It's not anything I'm interested in. Trying to put everything away as I'm going through this to clear the space. Next we have these 24 karat delicacy beads. Peacocks are the fanciest birds of all, so I had to include the fanciest of beads. Delica plated with 24 karat gold. And they're rainbow gold olive, and you can see the green in there. You know? They're very pretty. I do like these. Actually, I don't have anything I can use them on at the moment, but I'll find something because these are very, very nice. In fact, I'm working on a project that's a gift, and I don't want to talk about it. I'm hating it from the start, unfortunately, because it's a dimensions kit. I don't like their floss. I don't like their fabric, and I was using a highlighter on my working chart, so to speak, and the highlighter got on the fabric. I'm hoping it gets covered by a stitch because it's a gel highlighter. Don't ever buy gel highlighters, they're the worst. And I'm hoping it's either out of the area or I can cover it with something. I actually have like a few spots, so I'm looking already to cover these areas with beads. It's like an ocean thing, so I might be able to put in some I'll show you. This was day 17 and I squealed. It's the Etoile and it's blue, but I want to see if I can get the set. Let's see if it focuses. It's kind of dark to see. I love this stuff. I'm working on a project now that has 3 of these. In fact, I think this is one of the colors. I think it's one of the colors in there. But if I could get this in white and use it on the seashore, like when the waves break, to give it some sort of a sparkle in this project, then that might help cover up the highlighter that got on my fabric that's really ticking me off right now. It's very stiff fabric. I don't like it, but I have to do it. The fabric that we got, the first one in this, was a Mediterranean sea fabric, a lovely new color from Witchell. Your specific type and count is listed below, so I got the 32 count linen, and yeah, I laugh because I didn't want to talk about a project, but I'm talking about a project that I was doing. And it's plain. You're just seeing the stuff down there underneath it, but it's pretty plain. I didn't see any defects in it. It's a nice piece. I'll find something to stitch on it. I have like such a stash at this point of fabric. Working on number 10 here. Peacocok Twisted Bugles, a fancy bugle bead in a peacock-inspired colorway, making for great fringe. I'm not a fan of bugle beads. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I do love the color on these. I wish they had come in seed beads instead. Sorry about that. I got a phone call. I'm using an old phone. It uses Wi-Fi, and my phone rang, and because this uses Wi-Fi and the last number that was in it was my number, it rang as well and interrupted the video. So I'm going to step back and go back to number 10, which is the Peacocok Twisted Bugles, a fancy bugle bead, peacock-inspired colorway, and a peacock-inspired colorway that makes great fringe. Now, I do like the color of these. They're very pretty, except, as I said before, I do not like bugle beads. I wish these were in seed beads, but they are so pretty. You can see them there. So, that was number 10. Number 11. Number 11, right here. Sorry. Pardon me. Number 11 is golden overdyed cotton, a gorgeous accent color to go along with the greens and blues in this box. And it is by Gentle Arts, and it's called Gold Leaf. I have a hard time telling. I don't know if it's my lighting or not, but it looks like it might have a slight variegation to it. It looks lighter here and darker in there, but it may just be my lighting. Either way, I think it's very pretty, and we'll see. Maybe it's something I can incorporate into the gift one that I'm working on. 11, number 12. Yep, my least favorite thing in the whole wide world. I'm gonna get a little baggie out to put them back in. We got buttons. I dislike buttons so bad. I will say there were some. I like the square one. I think that's really rather cute. And there were some tiny ones in here that I really did like. I'm just going to move those out of the way. This one I think I like too. Looks like sea glass. So there are some really tiny ones in here, but I don't like buttons. I don't add them to anything. I've added them to maybe one or two things at least, I will say one or two things, but maybe at most 5, because you gotta be specific with buttons, I think. I use them as a doorknob in some English garden front yard stitch I did many years ago. And because you put a button in it, I gotta put it in a shadow box, which I do like shadow boxes, but you know, sometimes it's hard to find shadow boxes in the right sizes. So, oh, and like I skipped 9. In fact, I just put the wrong card in there. I'll read the card for the buttons. I was just annoyed with them, so I put them away. I'm sorry. Day 12. Some fabulous buttons to decorate your projects and finishings with our special Peacock blend. So, that away. Now, I love this bowl. I can't say that enough. We have a small wooden bowl. This tiny bowl makes a fabulous catch-all for next to your stitching chair. Try adding a magnet to the bottom to hold pins and needles, or a great base for a small pin cushion. What I like about this bowl is I can use it when I do these unboxings. So when there's a bag of buttons, I can dump it out. Say, like here's day 13, is these little seed beads. I can take these little seed beads and dump them in there, so you get a nice view of them, minus all that plastic. And those are some pretty, I like these a lot. I like the color. So I'm going to put them back, and then I will read the little card. Day 13 is Toho seed beads. This colorway may be named Junebug, but it sure looks peacocky to me. So, I'm going to leave my little wooden bowl here because I really like that bowl. Let's see. Day 14 is a repeat. I'm not happy about that. Last summer, there was some sort of beachy summery box. I'd have to go back in my videos, and I haven't, but it came with the same rickrack. Now, I will say I like this rickrack. Not keen on this particular piece because it looks like poop in the middle there. You know, it goes from this nice blue. See if I can get it to go straight. It goes from this nice blue. Here we go. Nice, pretty. Gets a little dark. Gets a little dark. I can try to get the bad piece. And then it goes like greeny, you know, brown, dirty water, back to this beautiful blue. So I'm actually just not keen on this, along with it being a repeat. So it is day 14, Painter's Thread Rickrack. Can't finish a fancy peacock project with regular old rickrack. It needs something as fancy as the subject matter. Yeah, wow. Pretty crappy piece. 15 right here is this needle minder. It's got a nice neodymium magnet on the back. I do feel like it's missing something, like there should have been some sort of a crystal type, you know, plastic bead in the center that would match the green on the outside. But, and I have a bunch of these. I've made them myself. I do not use them. I've tried, I just don't. Day 15, needle minder. A fancy little needle minder to keep your needles safe in style. Day 16, I'm going to complain about. I hate these things. The day before I got this box, I actually bought one of these because I was doing the Lakeside Needlecraft Hardanger SAL, and I thought it would be easier to get that pearl cotton through the needle if I used one of these. These do not work. The needles that I use, first of all, the pearl cotton, trying to double it through this, did not work. And then the needles that I do use are the ones with a little ball at the front, and the eyes are small, so this end, this tiny little end, does not fit through the eye of the needles that I use. So this to me is crap. I hate those things. Day 16, needle threader. A simple little tool to help you get through those get those fancy threads on your needle. No, this does absolutely nothing for me. And I was a little bit more angry about it in my other video that I decided not to post and post this instead. The Etoli as I call it, I love this stuff. It is so pretty. If you can get your hands on it, it's, I can't say buying the $50 box at Joann's is worth it because I haven't done that yet. I can't bring myself to do that. But if you can get your hands on a few pieces or just the colors that you like, or colors that you'll utilize, I should say, this is nice. It feels nice. It's not like metallic floss. It is a little tricky, I will say that, because it's a little, I want to use the word hairier. It's a little hairier than or softer or more delicate than regular floss. But I absolutely love this stuff. The sparkle in there. So we have day 17, DMC Etoli Floss. I'm a huge fan of this new floss from DMC. It has just the right amount of sparkle to pop without being overwhelming, and that's exactly it. And it's easy to work with, and it's better than metallic floss. There's I used it before. It's like almost like a plastic kind of floss. Got to be careful ironing it. And it's got just the sparkle in it, and I used that in another ocean one I did. That was a gift, and it was so difficult to work with, and you had to use small strands because it would tangle. It was just a mess. This is nice and simple. So next we have Graceful Gray 32 count linen. I so love the combination of neutral fabrics with threads that pop. This gray linen makes a great backdrop to the threads and embellishments in this shipment. I can agree with that. It's a nice piece of gray. And it looks like a blue gray, not a straight gray. And once again, my room is blue and I have poor lighting, so you know, it's hard to really tell the color. It looks like a blue gray to me. But once again, it's a nice piece and I didn't find any defects in it, so that was good. There's another piece. I love this. This one right here is adorable. If I were to go and buy, I would totally buy stuff like this. I'm not keen on this. This is day 14, a crystal Aurora Borealis drop. Tiny little crystal drop. You can see the Aurora Borealis in there because it's got that kind of a pink sheen to it. It's not just like, you know, my skin showing through. It's got a little bit of a pink sheen. You can see it better there. So, but you know, you go to the craft store, you can find a whole string, and I don't know what I'd put that on project-wise. It's got to be like a focal point because you only get one. Crystal Aurora Borealis drop, day 19. This drop reminds me of the albino peacocks. If you haven't seen one, do a quick search. They are awesome. Albino peacocks are real. Red peacocks are not. That was, for some reason, peacocks were a big deal this past month. I think somebody had a SAL that was a peacock, and but when it comes to you know, peacocks that are real, you have to consider it's nature. They need to be able to hide, especially the females. That's why they have no colors to them. They just look like shrubbery, you know. They have to hide. They have to protect their young. So when you see something as ostentatious as a red peacock, you have to know that doesn't exist in nature because there's no way for that to hide from predators. So, and peacocks are beautiful. My uncle had some when I was a kid, and he used to get the cops called on him because when they scream help, as if a woman was screaming for help. So many a times he had the cops show up thinking, you know, something bad was going on. He just, nope, it's the birds. It's birds in the back. And I believe he might have had a white one. I'm not sure. Another thing about peacocks, which, just a tangent here, they're very bad parents. He had a male and a female. They laid eggs. They would never sit on the eggs. They didn't care. I don't know if it was the environment, whatever. They're bad parents. So he took the eggs and he put them in with the chickens. And the chicken hatched the little peacock egg. And there was the baby peacock in with the chickens. They named it Chickpea. However, peacocks are very susceptible to diseases and illnesses, and the poor thing ended up, he didn't live very long, he passed away, but when my uncle found out the research on it, because this is back in the 80s, the they get a bacteria from the chicken poop. So, you know, you can't keep peacocks and chickens together, and you can't have the chicken raise a baby peacock, because it's going to get ill and it's going to die. So, yeah, chickpea didn't last long. Poor little thing. It was adorable. I remember it being cute. I was young. Day 21. Weeks Dye Works cotton, a pale blue for a bit of contrast with the bright colors in this box. Now this one, I know it's not my eyes, this one is definitely variegated. There's a little bit of white in there. It's like a blue. You see white here and you see blue there. And it's Weeks Dye Works, and it's called Icicle. Yeah, you can see it in there. You can see there's white and there's the blue. I like the light blue. I think I'd be a little happier if this was all that light blue instead of a variegated piece, because I think once you go to use it, you're gonna, you know, be disappointed because you're expecting full coverage and you're not gonna get it the way you think. 22. This kind of disappointed me as well, and I'm gonna say that because it's a tiny piece of felt. It's day 22. Some felt to help you finish your peacock smalls. Okay, what am I going to do with this? It would make a nice lining for a purse, you know, a little coin purse and some fabric, stitch it up, put a zipper on there. The only other thing I thought to do with it, years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I found felt patterns to make little plushies on the internet. So I made myself a shark, and I loved the shark. And then I'm like, I want to make myself a whale shark. And I never did, and this would be a nice to use to make myself a whale shark plushie. That's all I could think of when I saw this fabric. I'm like, other than that, it feels like it even is like half the size of a regular piece of felt if you were to go to the craft store and pick up a piece of felt. So I like the color. I could use it, but I didn't think it warranted being in this box, is what I'm saying. So, day 20. Oh, what did I skip a day? I did, I'm sorry. A little out of order. Day 20 is Swarovski 2mm rounds, a majestic blue for a majestic bird. There's 10 in here, and they are super tiny. You can see that there. Super, super tiny, and they are kind of like hexagon shaped. They're not round. They got edges to them. Does it say that on there? It says rounds, but when you look at them, they're not really round. I don't know if it translates well in the picture. So, being as I'm jumping around, let's go to day 23. Oh no, I'm going back in order. Yep. Toho seed beads, some more bling for your stitching. Now these I like too. I may complain in the past because I do like Mill Hill, but I'm always a fan of beads. I love beads. These are very nice. They're dark blue at the center, and then they're a little lighter, translucent on the outside. So that's nice, and maybe I can use them on the project I'm doing now. I have to see when I'm done. I have to look at it when I'm done and see where I might be able to add a little bling. This I love. Day 24, Basalt Splash 32 count Laguna, a brand new fabric from Zweigart. This great backdrop for a fabulous bright peacock colors. The splotches remind me of some of the piebald peacocks I've seen. I love this piece. I wouldn't use it for peacocks, but I absolutely love this piece. So, look at this. This is awesome. And I have 4 birds. I have 2 African greys and 2 green cheek conures. And I have to tell you, my first thought when I saw this, as much as I love this, this looks like bird poop. This looks like my shirt after my bird has been on my shoulder. But I absolutely love it. And it's not on both sides, by the way. It's only on one side. But it's I like this piece. I wish it was bigger. That's the one thing I could say. I wish it was bigger so I could do a nice big project on it. I almost feel like I could do 2 halves of something. I don't know what though, because width-wise, it's a little. I would have liked it even if it was like 2 inches wider, something. But I do like this. Did I say it enough? Did you realize I like this? I like this, and I like this. I love that. Even though I could probably go to like Christmas tree shop and get one for $1, or even a thrift store if I tried really hard. I love that piece. That is awesome. I do like this too, this piece of fabric that we got. It's a quilt fabric for finishing, a bit of quilt fabric to help you with your finishings. Repeat, repeat. I like this. This is cute. But, as I said before, what I'd probably end up doing, this is just me, is I'd probably take this and this, sew it around, put a zipper on it, and make a nice little pouch. You know, something for carrying around scissors, or, you know, a little needle tin, because I have tons of tins. Every project you do gives you a needle, and I use the same specialty needles that I buy. So I have a tin that's just full of needles from projects. So, but like that would, with a little zipper on there, it's a little short that way, it'd be like a pencil case size. But I'd probably just, you know, iron it out, keep it with the center fold. Let's see what I can do here. See if I can give a good example of what I'd do. You know, and stitch it, put a zipper on there. I think that would be nice. Maybe it won't make it to be a, I don't know, just had an idea. Maybe it won't make it to be part of a whale shark. Here's something else we could do, because this is cute, and I'm not a fan, but this is cute. So it would be a nice little, yeah, let's do it this way, that's better. Once again, look at that. Nice little accent piece on a cute little zippered purse. Look at that. Oh, that's so special. It's so sarcastic. Woven ribbon decoration to finish with bleh, decoration. I'm rushing and I'm getting tired and now I'm getting sloppy. Day 26, woven ribbon. Decorate your finishing with this lovely ribbon from Renaissance Ribbons. I do think it's a pretty piece. You know, but like I said, the only thing I could think to do with it is, you know, make it a little accent piece on here. You know, depending on how I cut it, maybe there'd be enough that I could sew a little pocket on here, or maybe use another piece of fabric and use that as an edging for a pocket. Yeah, getting mentally creative. Got a lot of good ideas, and I just have to, you know, work on making those reality. I love this particular floss. I haven't used it yet. It is so soft, and I love the colors. This is, I forgot it, Needle Point Incorporated Silk Floss. Sorry, I'm off camera. One last skein of silk in this lovely peacocky 435 colorway from Needle Point Incorporated. It's a beautiful, beautiful green. I like it a lot. There's been a few of these. One of them was called Northern Lights, and I can't remember the other one. Chinese Green, Chinese Dragon, something like that. But I do like how vibrant the colors are in this. I just haven't found anything to use them on yet. I just think it's a very, very pretty floss. Sorry. Alright, 2 more things to go. Alright, bring these up here. This was day 29, which is some green bugle beads. There was no card in there, so there's really nothing to go with these. So, but I'm not a fan of bugle beads. They had been regular seed beads. I do like the color, but not, yeah. And day 28 is a peacock feather charm. This charm will be right at home on your stitching, or as the focal in a fabulous peacock themed scissor fob. This is a nice little piece. I could see using it on something. I'm not sure yet. I'm not keen on the chart that they gave us. It's not something I would do. Hold on. I had a little baggie set aside that I was putting stuff in. I forgot I had one more piece. Drop in there. Yeah, this is a little too, it's not my style. I'm just like gonna open it off camera and show you what it looks like because I forgot how they did this. Oh no, I think I'm good. So, this is a Sandala sewing set by Marie-Therese Vital. You don't get this. That's some needle minder that I guess they had that went with it, some little wooden needle minder. But it's this little keeper. And I guess that's the outside. And on the inside you have a pocket for your scissors and you have a place to put your needles. But it's just not my style. And everything they give you in here, none of it is on this list. Not even, I mean, you could substitute the gold beads with these. It's nice and rainy out, almost makes this an ASMR. But yeah, the fabric is, usually when they give you this, they give you parts. Like one of the other ones that had this, like a chart in there, they gave you the fabric. Is that the dog one? No, there's something I unboxed earlier, or late last year I should say. But I don't know, this one they kind of gave you nothing, so yeah, it's not my style, not anything I would do. And especially with the colors they gave us, I expected something a little less of that like Amish old world style. To me, there's really no flair in there. So, sorry, just being honest, it's not my thing. Ooh, thunder. Thunder, the dogs are barking. I'm not even going to bother to try and stick that back in there. Let me just grab a sip of my coffee before it goes cold. Alright. And I love this bowl. As I drop it. I love this bowl. This is perfect for, like I said, doing these things. Would I use it as an orc jar? I have so many. I have even those little silicone cups. I use those. I don't even think I'd use this to pick up beads in, because when you feel the inside, it's a little on the rough. So I could imagine the tip of the needle getting stuck in there if you're trying to pick up seed beads. So, but that is like the coolest. Alright, just scoot on over a little bit. This. I'm debating now if I should open this now or if I should do it as a separate video. I think I'm going to do it as a separate video, so I will upload 2 videos. So that was the Stitchy box, Peacocok small batch box, that was started April 1st, 2019. Alright? I do have other ones coming eventually, and next time will be another one of those unboxings. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.